Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, God. It's Monday. Welcome, welcome, guys, for Marvin Velasquez Songlists show. This is a special edition for tonight. Hello, world. Hello, universe. Hello, Philippines. Because we will be graced in just a couple of minutes by a musical scorer and music composer, JOHN KOUTSELINIS. Just a couple of minutes, he will be here with us. All right. So, good evening po. Here in the Philippines, it's already 9 or 8. Oh no, it's about 9:30 in the evening. So, kumusta po kayo sa iba't ibang mga parte ng bansa na nararating ang Marvin Velasquez Songlists show? Thanks God, it's Monday again. And about the COVID-19, it's still the same. We are already losing up. But still, we are still required here in the Philippines to wear face masks and a social distancing. But I think it's like normal already. Pero napagalaman ko na based on my source from PT before, na parang pinag-aaralan na rin ng Bureau of Quarantine and as well as sa DOH na mandatory na hindi na mandatory yung pag wear ng face mask. Hopefully in the near future, sooner or later, we back to normal again. But again, welcome to Marvin Velasquez Songlists show. And here we go. The COVID-19 inspired song composed by the famous award in 2019, Erasmo Rusty Valilin, and arranged by, of course, Tony Villa, based from Wuhan, performed by various artists of Erasmus Star Talents in Entertainment Management. Here we go.
Virus from Wuhan that grips the lives of everyone.
This 2020 superbug makes everybody feeling sad.
Life's working and socializing. This awful scourge keeps us from rain.
This killer beast from Wuhan spreading fears across the land. Together we fight against this fear of the world. Together we stand. With God's love, we'll win this fight. Lord, hear our prayer. So let's all walk together as one.
So let us work together as one, hand in hand, united we stand.
We will destroy it to the ground. We will destroy it to the ground. Together
We shall overcome. All right. But of course, sa mga kachuchunin lang po ay pamaya-maya ay makakasama po natin ang song or music composer and musical scorer po ng Sony Music and of course motion pictures. All right, it's kind of big. What a big night for tonight. Because John Koutselinis, correct me if I'm wrong, John, the way I pronounce your family name, ay makakasama po natin siya pamaya-maya. Isang big time at multi-awarded musician based in London. Ang makakasama po natin gabi, here, all the way, exclusively at Marvin Velasquez Songlists Show. My next playlist would be, of course, Mambo, Samba, Cha-Cha. Let's dance.
Kumusta ka? Kumusta na? Kay tagal doon sa lugar tayo ay magkita. Hawak ko pa lambot ng kamay mo na hawak ko. Puso ko'y bihag mo, mahal ko. Halika na, tayo ay magsayaw na. Samba, cha-cha, mambo samba, cha-cha, mambo samba, cha-cha, mambo samba, cha-cha. Ikumpas natin ng sayaw, cha-cha, sa tugtuging ito, pasabog ng samba. Bagay, saya, muntang problema, taglay. Kumusta ka? Kumusta na? Kay tagal dun sa lugar tayo ay nagkita. Hawak ko pa lambot ng kamay mo na hawak ko. Puso ko'y lihag mo, mahal ko. Halika na, tayo ay magsayaw na. Mambo samba, cha-cha, mambo samba, cha-cha, mambo samba, cha-cha, mambo samba, cha-cha. Ikumpas natin ng sayaw, cha-cha, sa tugtuging ito, pasabog ng samba. Ibagay, saya, imot ang problemang taglay. Oh, hey! Mambo samba, cha-cha, 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 mambo samba, cha-cha. Ikumpas natin ang sayaw, cha-cha, sa tugtuging ito, pasabog ng samba. Saya, imot ang problemang taglay. Bagay, saya, imot ang problemang taglay. Di ba't kay saya, limot ang problemang taglay. Mambo samba, cha-cha.
Hi guys, I'm Marvin Velasquez. You're watching Letters of Music.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Enjoy!
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Enjoy!
Wow, that's good to hear that you are enjoying. We have 4,000 viewers for tonight. Please like, comment, and share our show for tonight, and that would be much appreciated. And of course, I would like to greet our first viewer, Aris Montero from Philippines, Len Vicapulong from Missouri, USA, and she said, "Hello, lovely people all over the world." And she said, "Hello, Rasmus Tartalis in Entertainment Management," and she added, "Hello, Mr. Marvin Velasquez, the boss and officer of the Philippines." And she added, "Hello, lovely Cynthia Garcia." Wow. And Aris Montero put a lot of hearts and compliments. So thank you so much. All right. So again, guys, in just a few minutes, all right, we will be graced and visited by a good friend of a great friend of mine here on Facebook and social media platform based in London. Of course, we will be hearing and knowing all his achievements in the music industry, and of course, be inspired with his valuable things to share for tonight. John Koutselinus. So for the meantime, again, I'll be playing my song. All right, this was shoot in Brighton, England. It is the upcoming movie, the theme song of upcoming movie Money, Money, Money. All right, Pera Cuarto sa Lapi, sung by yours truly. Here we go. Pera Cuarta sa Lapi.
Dito sa mundo ay kumilos ka sa buhay mo. Biyahe dito at biyahe doon upang kumita ka sa takdang panahon. Ay bilis ng oras at araw, mismo tayo'y magsigalaw. Pera at kwartang kay hirap hanapin, laging ipunin, wag wawaldasin. Kung sa loterya ka papalarin, sa Las Vegas doon nakatingin. Lumingon ka sa Monaco na rin, baka sa Macau ka sueswertihin. Pera, pera, kwarta-kwarta na, salapi, salapi, salapi. Pera, pera, kwarta-kwarta na, salapi, salapi, salapi. Pera, pera, kwarta-kwarta na, salapi, salapi, salapi. Kay sarap nang may pera sa bulsa, lalo na pag nasa palad mo na. Pera, kwarta, salapi na. Dubidubiram, pam, 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 param, pam, pam, param. Kay bilis ng oras at araw, mismo tayo'y magsigalaw. Pera at kwartang kay hirap hanapin, laging ipunin, wag wawaldasin. Kung sa loterya ka papalarin, sa Las Vegas doon nakatingin. Lumingon ka sa Monaco na rin, baka sa Macau ka sueswertihin. Pera, pera, kwarta-kwarta na, salapi, salapi, salapi. Pera, pera, kwarta-kwarta na, salapi, salapi, salapi. Pera, pera, kwarta-kwarta na, salapi, salapi, salapi. Kay sarap nang may pera sa bulsa, lalo na pag nasa palad mo na. Pera, kwarta, salapi na. Kay sarap nang may pera sa bulsa, lalo na pag nasa palad mo na. Pera, kwarta, salapi na. Pera, kwarta, salapi na. Ligaya na, salapi na.
That would be Pera Cuarta Salapi, our upcoming movie, coming soon. Of course, Ares Montero says, what upcoming movie? And Lanby Kapulong, don't forget to watch Pera Cuarta Salapi coming soon, lucky song. Whoever watch and listen to this song will be lucky. Wow. Confetti of many all over the places. Yes, you nailed it, Marvin Velasquez. As Don Vino Reyes in movie. Love it, bravo. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So I need to pull up this one. Okay, so I just want to read who is our celebrity guest for tonight. All right. Okay. Here we go. Our celebrity guest for tonight is JOHN KOUTSELINIS. Correct me if I'm wrong, John. He's in the backstage right now. John is award-winning film music composer. He's composed high-quality. Oh, all right. Has composed high-quality film score with notable collaborations, comprising of music written for producers and directors such as Gary Kurtz, Star Wars 4 and 5, Brian Presley, The Great Alaskan Race, Hostile Territory, Richard Bazley, Disney Warner Brothers, Steve Stone, Identity, Johnny Wilson, Nephilim, and Mel Smith, director of High Heels and Low Lives, Radioland Murders, story by George Lucas. Moving forward, he has recently composed the score for the film The Alaskan Great Race by director-producer Brian Presley, also starring Henry Thomas, E.T. Legends of the Fall, and Treat Williams, among others. He also composed music for the films Hostile Territory, Brian Presley, Matt McCoy, and Brad J. Leyland. Dios with David O'Hara, The Departed, Harry Potter, and Claudia Black for Farscape, Catherine of Alexandria, Peter O'Toole, Stephen Burkoff, and Edward Fox, and Nephilim. John Savage award-winning score music performed by the City of Prague Philharmonic Orchestra, and he is currently composing the music for the film Accident Man 2 by Scott Alkin Ray Stevenson. Furthermore, in addition, he has composed music for over 40 short films, including the award-winning series We Are Angels, featuring Lista Brenner, The Patriot, and Courtney Grains, Children of the Corn, and Back to the Future. The award-winning film Sandron, Resurrection, Gary Kurtz, producer, Richard Bazley, director, Dragon Ball Z, and the League of Legends, K&K production, which films have amassed over 15 million views. And music for the short films the Rocky Boy Official Selection Sundays Festival, among others. John is John, rather. John is the recipient of 4 awards, including the Best Music Score by the Sydney Independent Film Festival for the original score of the film Nephilim, and the Best Music Award for the British Horror Film Festival for original score of the motion picture In Extremis. He is also the recipient of several nominations, including nomination by the prestigious Jerry Goldsmith Awards. That was our celebrity guest for tonight. Without further ado, I'll bringing you up. Of course, the reason why we have a celebrity guest for tonight. Correct me if I'm wrong, John. If I pronounce correctly your family name, John Koutselinis.
Fine, fine. It's Koutselinis. It's very, very close. Don't worry.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you for patiently waiting.
No, thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. It's wonderful to be here and appreciate your interest. I really do.
Thank you so much, and for allowing us to have you for tonight. I know it's kind of afternoon there in the UK. All right,
Yes, yes.
please, first and foremost, please greet our viewers for tonight all over the world.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everybody. My name is John Koutselinis. Right now, we're streaming from the UK, just outside London, and basically, my profession is I write music for films. And I have been fortunate to be doing this for just over 10 years, 10, 11 years now. And I've been fortunate to work with some wonderful producers and directors in my career, and to write music for some amazing actors and actresses. So the life of a composer is, always trying to do the best you can, and work as hard as you can, and hopefully get somewhere. And when you hear people either loving what you do or showing interest, like my good friend Marvin here, is always a blessing. So Marvin, thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure, my friend. And in relation with that, sir, how do you start in the music industry?
Yeah, that's a very good question. The music industry is particularly hard because it takes a great deal of well, first of all, it takes a great deal of effort to learn how to write music. In my field, what we do requires, in some instances, quite deep knowledge for orchestration, harmonization, understanding a great deal about the orchestra, how it works, its mechanics. And if one is interested, then can delve a lot deeper into how music actually works, because that always really, really helps, especially in what we do. Because, as I said, we're dealing sometimes with orchestras, and orchestras basically have been created over hundreds of years. We stand on shoulders of giants, really, in the end of the day, and we got to have a huge and deep respect about what this is, and the craft of creating music and scoring. So this is it can be quite a long learning curve, which could take up to 10 to 20 years. But beyond that, even when one feels is ready to actually do what he or she is supposed to be doing in the music industry, it's just then very, very hard work and determination to actually try and make contact as much as possible, and be the best you can as much as possible, and everything has to run in tandem. You can't leave one of the other. And hopefully somebody will sit up and, have a look and listen and give you an opportunity. And from then on, you can start building, with hard work and a bit of luck. But definitely, from my experience, from what I've learned, both are extremely important. Both hard work and luck are very important to actually progress in the industry.
Yeah.
So I've started from a friend of mine who called me completely out of the blue, and he said, I'm doing a film, and that was about 10 years, more than 10 years ago. And it so happened he was a producer for films. He became producer for films, and gave
Yeah.
me the opportunity to score one of my very first films. And he said to me, "I remember you loving film scoring," and I said, "Absolutely." And this is how I kind of started from then. And one thing led to another, and as I said, to this day, I've been very blessed with some really wonderful collaborations.
Wow, that's brilliant, brilliant, Jan. Thank you for allowing us to, to know part of it. And
Appreciate it.
yeah. Of course, I need to pull out this one. Len Bicapulong from Missouri, USA says, "Hello, Mr. John Koutseliniis. Greetings from Missouri, USA. Welcome to Marvin Velasquez Songlists show."
Wonderful.
She said, and of course, Mom Cynthia Garcia, she is also an actress singer here in the Philippines, and she said, "Hello, Sir Marvin and Sir John." Well, thank
Wonderful.
you so much. And of course, Romel Aquino, he's from Saudi Arabia. Oh, assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much,
Mhm.
Romel. And he said, "Salute, Sir Marvin." Wow, thank you so much. Of course, thank you for that brilliant answer, John. And of course, who are your music influencer, by the way, and how did inspire you to do good in your
Sure.
craft?
Sure, absolutely. My very early influences for music for films. It's something that a lot of composers probably you're gonna find you're gonna get the same.
Exactly.
You're gonna get the same answer as John Williams, who is, in my view, the best composer that graced the planet, the face of the planet for
Whew.
music for
Yes.
films.
Mhm.
Uh, as a child, and many other people who probably just will tell the same story. I listened to the music for Star Wars, and I was taken back straight
Yes.
away of how
Mhm.
powerful and how brilliant it was. In particular, The Empire
Mhm.
Strikes Back, which
Mhm.
drew me uh, instantly into the world of film music. I became an instant fan of film music. And
Exactly.
at that point, I knew that I would love to do something like that. I would love to get involved somehow. And then later on, I started discovering people like Jerry Goldsmith, who scored Alien
Mhm.
and The Omen and Star Trek, an absolutely incredible composer for films. And then later on, James Horner, who scored Willow and Kral and Titanic. And these were massive influences. And the one thing,
Mhm.
obviously, that one has to understand and realize is that when somebody grows up with these people, these influences get hardwired in you. You
Yeah.
can't help it. And they're the ones that definitely gave me an inspiration to do what I do today.
Lovely.
And as time went on, I discovered other people like the incredible Elliot Goldenthal, who
Wow.
scored Interview with a Vampire and Alien 3. He had a very unique voice. The brass writing, in particular, it was very ahead of its time. Unfortunately, he
Mhm.
unfortunately he didn't really go the distance because he found the industry to be very demanding, and I think the time
Mhm.
schedule didn't work with him.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So he decided to go back into writing music for orchestral performances, but he's an
Mhm.
absolute gem of a composer, absolutely wonderful composer. And obviously later
Mhm.
on, the more contemporary like Hans Zimmer and people like that, who is an incredible musician. But yeah,
Yeah.
these were my early influences that, um, they shape your musical world as you grow up.
Exactly. Wow. So I need to follow up this one, John. And Vivian Hernandez, hello to our family Erasmus Star artist. She is from Kobe, Japan. So
Wonderful.
arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu, Miss Vivian Hernandez. And in relation with that, John,
Yes.
please tell us about working with big entertainment like motion pictures and Sony Music. I know you're a huge musician, but of course, humbly speaking, I'm so thankful for allowing me to have you tonight. But
Oh no,
yeah,
not at all, not
how
at all.
was
That's
how was
wonderful you
working
say
with them?
so. I just don't feel this way. I just do my job, and I do the best I can and move forward. And I said to you earlier, it's about being humble, working hard, and do the best you can for the people you work for.
Yes, sir. All right. All right. In relation with that, please tell us about working with or a big entertainment like
Yeah, definitely, definitely. One of the well, first of all, I had the opportunity to work with the producer of Star Wars 4 and 5, Gary Kurtz, and that relates to my earlier answer. These were people that shaped my musical landscape. And you got
yes,
to
yes.
understand as well that Gary Kurtz worked directly with John Williams.
Hmm.
And to me, it was a great honor for him to even listen to my work. Okay. And this came very randomly because I contacted somebody called Richard Bazley, with whom
Hmm.
we have become friends over the years. And he was very kind. He came back to me straight away and he said, John, I love your music. He said, I'm going to play to Gary, right? And Gary being Gary Kurtz, the producer of Star Wars.
Hmm.
And he got back to me. I said, Gary who? He said, Gary Kurtz. And I couldn't believe it. It was a huge honor. What a privilege. Who listened to my music because at the time I was pitching the music for a serial that they were preparing.
Hmm.
And although that didn't come to be, I ended up working on a short film called Centaur Resurrection, which was then produced by Gary Kurtz, which was
Hmm.
again a huge honor for me. Um, and then later on, I met some other people, two wonderful directors, George and Harry Kirby, who are massive Dragon Ball Z fans and they love these kind of things. And they gave me the opportunity to work with them for a good 10 years. We did short films, we did trailers. Uh, but as luck has it, lately they give me a call and they said, look, we're going to do our own film that they wanted me to score it. But they said Scott Aitkins, who is an incredible martial artist, he said, why don't you just direct my movie? And they said, look,
Hmm.
how about if we get together? And that film is to be, as far as I'm concerned, then distributed by Sony Entertainment, which it's a wonderful thing to hear. But not only that, obviously the opportunity to work with Harry and George again, the two directors, the brothers, and to work with such an incredible martial artist such as Scott Aitkins, and in the process to watch the film, which was incredible, and other amazing martial artists. And then I think it was Ray Stevenson who worked at a Marvel movie. I think he played a Thor, and so did Scott Aitkins. He played at Doctor Strange, and it was a huge honor to be involved with this kind of these people and this kind of production. And it was absolutely wonderful. We worked last year, started in December 2022, and finished just a few months ago. It was a wonderful collaboration, uh, and absolute pleasure to be a part of it. But in between those two instances, I worked with Brian Presley for the film The Great Alaskan Race, which to this
Wow, that
day
was amazing. Hmm.
it was a wonderful film, and
Yes, yes.
absolutely the story was beautiful. It was based on a true story
Hmm.
which happened a long time ago. There was a remote area in Alaska,
Hmm.
and basically what happened is that the village had a diphtheria outbreak, and
Oh, I see.
the serum, it did run out of date. It was an out of date serum, and it was
Hmm.
in the middle of winter, and there was no other way to actually get that serum to save the children, because
Hmm.
that was deadly to children in particular. I think adults
Hmm.
could actually overcome this issue,
Yeah.
and it was all about this dog, called Togo, and his master Leonard Seppala, to then go through the night. I think it was -80 or something crazy like that, and they had to go, yes, and they had to go through the night and then meet halfway through, I think, or three quarter. I can't quite remember how long on the other side, so that they
Yeah.
could get the serum and get it back and save the children. It was an absolutely beautiful story, which really resonated. Absolutely wonderfully filmed by Mark David, who's an incredible cinematographer. Obviously, Brian Presley wrote and directed it, and it was an absolutely wonderful work. And to this day, it remains my most cherished collaboration because it was one of those jobs that it just went so wonderfully well that it left you with a really really nice feeling. We recorded that with the City of Prague Philharmonic Orchestra, with whom I have collaborated quite a few times. An absolutely wonderful orchestra with James Fitzpatrick, who is the session director, and I'm particularly honored to work with him because he has worked with some of my most favorite composers, namely Jerry Goldsmith. He actually, I think he did a session production for a film called Legend with Tom Cruise. And it was a real honor to meet him. Great to work with him, great to work with the orchestra. And I think this was the second time or third time I worked with the orchestra. But that was definitely one of the highlights of my film scoring career. And then we stayed together for another instance with Brian Presley, and we did a beautiful film called Hostile Territory. It was originally titled The Orphan Train. And that was based again on a true story, from the point of view that during the Civil War in America, because obviously a lot of fathers would go to war, and their mothers sometimes would die because these were harsh days. Then you'd have children basically staying all by themselves, and what they would do then, they would be orphaned. So there was what it was called the Orphan Train Initiative, that they would take the children and put them on a train. The train would go throughout America, and every station would have families waiting for them to, I know, very hard stuff, to write for. But I don't know, I find Brian's works really inspiring, and absolute pleasure to work with him because he's given me opportunities to write thematic material, which sometimes may be a little bit rare these days, but he's the one who's always pushed me, and he said, look, I want thematic material. I would love to have a theme, which is a real pleasure to write this way, and he understands and appreciates the orchestra and will always go and record, so that was my second collaboration with Brian. And at the very early days, I recorded with a symphony orchestra, full symphony orchestra, for a film called Nephilim, which was an animated film by a wonderful director called Danny Wilson from America. And so that was my first big recording. And my other great collaboration is with a director called Steve Stone, with whom I've done two films. Both of them, he's got a very dark kind of dystopian outlook in his films. And one film is called In Extremis, very, very dark film. I'd rather not get into it right now because it's just a very, very dark psychological horror. And the second film is called Deus, which I think it was just released a few weeks ago. And again from Steve Stone. This time it was all electronic, no orchestras, no anything, because obviously every film score has its own parameters, and every film score needs different things. So yes, I mean, it has been an absolute joy to work in this industry, and you meet so many people. Short films, again, I work with Aaron Garcia for a wonderful series of films called We're Angels. And as I said to you, with George and Harry Kirby, we recorded for Dragon Ball Z. We did, which it was very successful. It had more than 15 million plays, and
Lovely.
the League of Legends. Yes, really, really successful stuff. So I have been blessed, to be honest, to work with some really nice people. And up to this point, these are my major works. As I said, the latest one I've done is for a film called Accident Man 2 with Scott Adkins, and look forward to whatever the future may bring.
Well, upon hearing all those personalities, celebrities, and names, actually, I was really gobsmacked. And
I did forget to actually bring up something which was sorry to interrupt you, but obviously, other than Gary Kurtz being a very strange and almost crazy thing to happen to me, taking under
Mhm.
account that I grew up listening to John Williams.
Mhm. Mhm.
Also, one of my very first films that I wrote music for was a film called Catherine of Alexandria, and the one of the main actors who played it was Peter O'Toole. And let me tell you, that was some experience watching Peter O'Toole on his own, right,
Mhm.
reciting a monologue. The presence of the man was just awe-inspiring, without any music, without anything. And sometimes you can understand the legendary status some people have. It was a real pleasure, and it's just a wonderful performance to behold.
Brilliant. Wow. Thank you. Thank for that. Wow. I'm really honored to have you, my friend.
Oh, well,
And
appreciate it. Appreciate it.
of course, Freddy's not a core. I need to pull up this one. And he said, "Hello, brother Marvin. Just taking a break from recording to say hello to all." Wow, thank you so much. He's also from Kobe, Japan. And
Wonderful.
also, we also have here Sir Jaser, the Tuan Lorena. Here, he's from Philippines and said hello. And also, Elinia Jean, good evening to all. Stay bubbly, bro. Oh, thank you so much, Ma'am Elena Jean. And Len Bicapulong says, "Wow, Mr. John Koutselinis, a multi-talented song composer of motion pictures and a brilliant world-class musical scorer."
Appreciate
Indeed.
it.
Thank you
Great.
so
Much
much.
appreciated. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, John. In more than as I've read in your bio,
Yeah.
you did 40 short films,
Yes.
and you compose music. Which is one for those short films is your most favorite? If
Wow.
I'm I'm giving you a hard time.
That's a hell of a question. That's a hell of a question. I did compose. I can tell you now, I composed music for the League of Legends, which I
All
really
right.
loved working. That was for Harry and George Kirby,
Mm-hmm.
and because it was an epic film, I really loved writing the music. But there was
Mm-hmm.
also another really beautiful. That's a tough question. I'm trying to remember now. There is a director. Let me just have a quick look. I need to remember his name because forgive me, that was a very long time ago. So I wrote. This is one of my very first compositions that I wrote for, and the title of the film was The Rocket Boy,
Rocket
and
Boy.
the director was Donovan Seshili,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a gentleman from America, American Indian descendant,
Okay.
and he created an absolutely gorgeous short film called The Rocket Boy, which I loved writing for because it was my very first short film, one of my very first, and I remember it being really beautifully filmed and edited. And it was about that little boy that he obviously his father died,
Mm-hmm.
and he thought that by creating a fake spaceship could go and
Mm-hmm.
reach him again. It was very emotional. So I really loved working on that film. It was nominated for a Jerry Goldsmith Award, which was a huge honor for me,
Mm-hmm.
and it made some really big festivals. That was wonderful. And so this is one of my very favorites. League of Legends, I would say, and pretty much most of the works that I did with George and Harry. And in particular, I wrote also some music for a really beautiful set of films called We Are Angels by Aaron Garcia. And Aaron Garcia had a knack for finding amazing actors because
Wow.
I don't know how he did it because
He
every
has eyes. He has eyes to find
exactly
became a huge actor. Yes, yes.
absolutely unbelievable perception when it comes down to choosing to casting, right?
Wow.
And every time he would send me a short film, I'd say to him, "Oh my God, where did you find these people?" Again, same thing. And but however, I wrote music for a really beautiful one of the short films. I wrote music for 14 episodes, and one of the episode was to do with an angel who and a demon who was seducing an angel, and the music was very lyrical. Really really loved this, and the actor ended up being on a Roald Emmerich film called Moonfall. Go figure, right? After all these years, he actually went on to play on Marvel Netflix show, I think, and on Moonfall, which was a huge release by Hollywood film. So he's done really really well. So I could tell that these people are unbelievably talented.
Yes.
You know,
Wow.
yes, unbelievably talented, and deservingly so. Now he's doing this person is doing really really well. I think I'm gonna mispronounce his name because I know
As-
I don't want to not do justice to him because he's a wonderful wonderful man. His name is Emi Equaker, and he played
mm,
Matthias on the film, and he's now played on Inhumans, and that he's played on Moonfall, which
mhm,
just been released this year. And Moonfall was, as I said, a wonderful with Halle Berry,
mhm,
wonderful production, and Ronald Emmerich, who's an incredible director, who's directed some classic films like Independence Day, Godzilla, The Day After Tomorrow.
mm.
So yeah, and deservingly so. He did fantastically well.
Brilliant.
But you're asking
Wow.
me a really really tough question. I don't know. I don't know. I
Thank you,
don't
and
know.
you answered it well. You
I
answered
think
totally.
I think about three films. Yeah, I would say The Rocket Boy, League of Legends, and that wonderful short film that I wrote the music for. So yeah,
Wow, thank you so much. And of
no problem,
course,
no problem.
we have here Danny Streamer. I think he's from the US. So inspiring. I am fascinated with music for TV and especially films. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Marvin and John. Thank you so much, Sir Danny. Um, John, I have collected some of the performances from the city, from the
City
city
of
of
Prague.
Prague Philharmonic Orchestra. Would you mind allow me to play those?
I don't mind at all. Please be my guest.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. So let's give it up for one of the creation and song composition of a good friend of ours for tonight, John Koutselini's, performed by the City of Prague Philharmonic Orchestra. Here
Thank
we
you.
go. Wow. Just wow.
Appreciate it.
Uh, John, please tell us about, how was working with the City of Prague Philharmonic Orchestra?
Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. We have now recorded about 4 or 5 scores. The very first time I recorded with them, as I said earlier, was for a film called Nephilim by Danny Wilson. and that was with a full 80 people orchestra, which was absolutely wonderful to be involved in something like that. Bearing in mind that I don't know if you know this, but productions nowadays don't record full orchestras anymore. They
Mm-hmm.
they break up the sections. I think for ease of editing and to maybe save a little bit of the time. With that, what I mean that is that they record the woodwinds, if there are any, brass,
Yes.
strings on a click track, and then they have everything separately. So that was a huge honor for me and opportunity to work with an 80-piece orchestra, playing tutti, as they say in the musical term, playing all
Mm-hmm.
together.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said earlier, I worked with James Fitzpatrick, which was again a real honor because the man has worked with everybody.
Yeah.
And along the way, I've met Nick Rain, who is an orchestrator and conductor, and he himself he is a consummate professional. He's worked in the industry for years and years. I believe he orchestrated music for John Barry for one of the James Bond films, which was a huge deal. Incredible musician, right? Incredible musician,
Yes. Indeed. Yes.
wonderful conductor, and a really, really nice man. Okay, so it's just
Wow.
one of those things that you learn about people, you meet people, they become everything becomes your family in the end of the day.
Yeah.
You just get accustomed to everybody. And yeah, as I said, I recorded there quite a few times. Prague is an incredible city, so I'm always
I
privileged to
know.
go there.
Yes. Wow.
Every time I have the opportunity to go is just a real blessing. And in particular, we recorded the Hostile Territory, the soundtrack for Hostile Territory, which you just played now, the
Yes.
Great Alaskan Race, which was a real privilege, and look forward to hopefully going back and recording with them again.
Wow. Brilliant. And from Ms. Len Vicapulong says, what an amazing music. Love
Bless.
it. Bravo. With a lot of stars and claps. Wow. Thank you so much, Ms.
Appreciate it.
Len Vicapulong. And of course, Noel Bernardo said, good day. Thank you so much, Sir Noel. All right. With your 4 awards, as I read your bio,
Yeah,
with your 4 awards that you received and several nominations, John,
yeah.
what else you want to achieve?
Well, that's a good question. I think the recognition is wonderful, and if there is an award about
Ex-
what you do or a nomination is a beautiful
Yes,
thing because it
yes.
makes you feel gratified that you've achieved something. But I think the achievement is really in the process of writing. That's where the achievement is.
Mhm,
On the next work and the next work, and hopefully to
mhm,
get inspired by a director to do something that resonates with you. Um,
mhm.
Obviously, it's something there's always the next level, and there's always something else to look forward to. Um, but at this point, I'm looking forward to hopefully working again with Brian Presley, the director that we did the various films such as Great Alaskan Race and Hostile
Mhm,
Territory.
mhm,
Look forward to hopefully working again with the Kirby brothers and
mhm.
Steve Stone as director, who I did Deus, um, and seeing more and more wonderful collaborations, recording again with live orchestra, because this is something that I actually omitted to say, is that every time I talk to a director, the first thing that I bring on the table is, are we going to have live musicians? Because
Yes.
this is where the real value for me lies, in the live musicianship,
Mhm,
you know, because it's something that it cannot be emulated, it can't be duplicated, no matter how
mhm.
great the technology is. And I don't know if you're aware about virtual orchestras and all these things that
Yeah.
we're using nowadays, because we
Mhm,
have to most of the times, but sometimes we have the opportunity to record with real people. And this is what I'm real advocate for live musicianship. you know
mhm,
from the point of view of, if you want to go down to the level, the ground level, from the point of view of employing people, and get the industry moving. Which obviously I'm a small cog in the industry, and there are people far higher than me that will give orchestras an opportunity to actually make a living from playing for films. To the more practical point of view, that when we record with an orchestra, there is a uniqueness about the sound. What I call a depth of field, a sonic depth of field that cannot be replicated for some bizarre reason, cannot be replicated by virtual orchestras, no matter how hard people try and companies try, such as the ones that the sell virtual orchestras. I don't know why it is, but the live performance is really, really unparalleled. You can't copy that. So every time I speak to a director or production company, I'm always, the first port of call is, are we going to have live people? Because the difference is massive.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And of course, I need to pull up this one. Miss Susan Umaye, she said, greetings everyone from California, USA. And she added, hello, Boss Honorable Prince and JOHN KOUTSELINIS. I was dubbed as the Boss Honorable Prince of the Philippines. I don't know why. I just sing.
That's a nice title. Why not? Right?
Yes, exactly. Okay, John, I have collected as well I think this would be from the Great Alaskan. Okay,
Yeah.
can you please allow me to play that and
Absolutely.
tell us a bit of it? All right, so let's give it
No
up for a good composition of a good friend of mine, of ours, of course, JOHN KOUTSELINIS. Here we go, from the Great Alaskan Race.
I've had this story in my head for over 8 years. Dogs, kids, snow, period piece. My name is Brian Presley. I'm the writer, director, producer of The Great Race, and I also played the lead role of Leonard Seppala. These men back in 1925, it was 80 below zero, doing hundreds of miles by dog sled. I chose to tell the story through Leonard Seppala's point of view. In all the research I did, Balto and Gunnar Kassan were two that got the most attention. Leonard Seppala and Togo covered 350 miles. Most of the other mushers covered 50 to 80 miles. That's what really jumped out on the page, and I started thinking about how I wanted to tell the story of Leonard Seppala. We had a lot of challenges shooting the movie. I couldn't have done it without my producing partner / DP, Mark David.
My name is Mark David, and I'm the director of photography and producer of The Great Race. The Great Race was everything I wanted to do as a DP. It's just the stunning visuals that I was able to, be a part of. Because of the time frame, we're talking 1917 Alaska. The challenges were going to be shooting in severe weather restrictions and in very low light, either too much light or like no light. So we wanted the interiors to look very real. And so we lit with candle lights and tungsten units to warm it, and in a very low light level, and actually experience the way the light falls on the subjects if it's true candlelight. But then the opposite extreme was the snow reflects tons of light. So, we had the two polar opposites, and that was one of the bigger challenges.
My composer, JOHN KOUTSELINIS, when he and I first started talking about the music in the film, one of the most important things is I wanted this score to be one of those kind of scores you remember, like Titanic, Legends of the Fall. We needed to have that epic feel, but also that element of wonder, element of mystery. His music in the movie it brings you to tears in scenes, and there's times where it chills, and it's all those little details and all those little elements that if one thing's off, then it completely changes the tone of the movie. You have to earn those moments to tap into the heartstrings of your audience. Casting obviously is one of the most important things. Treat Williams is a veteran in this industry. What he did with the doctor role, he just took it to another level and surpassed my expectation of what I had for that role. I've been watching Henry Thomas for most of my life. I remember E.T., and he's been a part of so many great films, and what a joy he was to work with. He came, and I think he did a great job with his character. Bria, who is a classically trained actress, was an absolute find and a gem to get in this part.
It was a great challenge, and it was a really fun role to play.
Let's talk about Brad Leland. His performance, he was like the grandpa, the backbone of the town. James Russo, the character of Wild Bill, Alaska cowboy is the best way to describe him. Like, the minute I met him, he just had that charisma, and he just had that swagger about him. I knew my little girl, Emma, was perfect for the role of Sigrid. Knew she had the personality and would have the feeling of being safe with me. But in this movie, Mother Nature is a big part of this journey. The storm's such a major character in the movie that, and there's different levels of the storm that we needed to create. It's got to be a storm where you're just feel numb, and in a storm that just smacks you right in the face when you're watching it. We want to see the brutality and the harsh conditions that these men traveled in.
Come on, hold the line!
Very thankful that this was my first film as a director. I really love playing the character Leonard Seppala. Had an amazing cast, amazing crew, and I hope you enjoy The Great Race.
Wow, thank you so much. The Great Alaskan Race. All right.
I have no, thank you for showing this. Actually, it's really lovely, and I have a story to tell you actually about the main theme.
Please.
Sure. It was first. It was the beginning of me working on the film, and I was just sending ideas to the director.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote my music, thinking, okay, fine, that how it should go, etc., etc. And then there was a very intimate moment between Kiana and Leonard, who was his wife. Kiana was his wife,
Mm-hmm.
and she just told him that she felt pregnant, and she was pregnant. And I wrote a little theme there for them, for their love, right? Which was the love of Leonard and Kiana. It was a love theme.
Yeah.
And I wrote it passingly, and I left it, right? So I've sent it to the director. I said, look, what do you think? And he gets back to me, and he said, John, I really love that little theme that you wrote there. He said, that is the main theme. And I said, oh, do you think so? He said, bless him, he said, it really speaks to me, And I said, oh, okay. So I sat down and I wrote the theme in its entirety, and I arranged it and sent it to him, and thankfully he really loved it, and we used it as the main theme for the film. It worked really well. But what this highlights is the relationship between director and composer, and it's something maybe to look into, because as a composer, I wrote this and I left it. To me, it was just a little theme for
Yes.
But he, as a director, and I suppose as producer, because he's produced this film, he felt that was, a cut above the rest of the writing, and he realized
And a valuable thing. Yes.
Yes, he saw that as a value. He saw the value of that writing.
Yes.
And then he pushed me to actually, and I think it's a wonderful thing, and it happens all the time. There is a story about the composer who wrote, we have a very famous TV serial here. It's not new, it's a bit old, called Poirot, and it's based on Agatha Christie. And the composer wrote many themes, and he didn't think anything of the main one that he, in the end, he used. He didn't think anything of it. He thought, well, it's just another theme. It's nothing really. And yet, sometimes you're too close to a project. You're too close to your baby. And it was the same thing. But I thought it was a wonderful story, and something definitely that highlights, the a relationship between director and composer.
It's so touching, actually. Wow. And because of that, Danny Streamer says, I love this story as small details grows into the
Yeah,
main musical theme, priceless. Well,
I
thank you so
appreciate
much, Sir
that. I
Danny.
appreciate that,
Really
Danny.
appreciate it. And of course, Lanvika Pulong said, what an enchanting music, Mr. John Koutselinis. You nailed it. Love it.
Appreciate it.
Bravo.
Appreciate
Wow.
it.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. John, do you believe that the outcome of the good music composition was the music from your soul? Do you believe on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Um, because somebody actually, I had a talk the other day with a lovely screenwriter, really, really lovely person, and he lives in
Mhm.
Japan right now. He's from Canada, and he grew up in America, then went to Japan. Really, really lovely man. And he asked me, he said, when you write, do you write mechanically or do you write from the heart? And I suppose your question probably is akin to that kind of train of thought. And my answer is that you always have to write from the heart, because otherwise you won't reach deep enough to write
Mhm.
something that will resonate with the film, you know.
Exactly.
And I mean, I have my own theories about what is uh, inspiration, but what I can tell you is that you reach a zone which is more cerebral. You don't really think about it. You just do
Yes.
it,
Yes.
right? You
Yes.
just do it, and it has to be fresh. This is what Jerry Goldsmith said in his interviews. He said it has to be fresh. He said the minute you
Hmm.
write it, that's it, right?
Hmm.
John Williams said the same. He said, "Don't think about it too much. Just do what you have to
Hmm.
do." Easily said than done, coming from geniuses such as Jerry Goldsmith and John Williams, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Easily said and done.
easily said
Yes.
than done. Yeah, exactly, exactly. But yeah, it comes from within. It has to come from within. But
Hmm.
that said, there are some scenes that you have to think about it mechanically, such
Hmm.
as you could have action scenes and things like that. That
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
again, I think your more aggressive side of psyche has to come into play
Yes.
to write
Yes.
something like that. But still,
Yes.
you know, I really believe that the heart plays a huge role, and this is something actually which contradicts the computerized music. It really
Hmm.
does, because the
Hmm.
computer doesn't understand about humanity. The computer
Hmm.
doesn't understand about breathing of the music.
Exactly.
Doesn't
Yes. Yes.
understand, you know, what the human feel is. And sometimes I personally,
Hmm.
sometimes I find it a little. Now after all these years of working, I found a way of me working. You know, having been able to somehow pass the humanity through the computer and let it
Hmm.
hurt on the other side of the composition.
Hmm.
One main issue is the tempo. If you take
Tempo.
any,
Yes.
well, the things that if you could take any orchestral music, you know, if you analyze it, the tempo goes like this.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
never like that. Never,
Yeah.
never. And this is one of the reasons why you have conductors conducting an orchestra, right?
Yes. Yes.
You know,
You
an
said it.
orchestra is a living thing. You can't, you know, you have to have somebody showing them how fast are they going to go, how slow are they going to go, you know, how much heart they have to give it, or you know, how
Yes.
much quiet they need to be, right? And the click track, it's great, but sometimes it can kill the music. You know, it has to have an ebb and flow and humanity to it, and that's a huge deal. So you know, from the heart somehow pass it onto the machine, because people
Hmm.
don't write with pen and paper anymore, and
Exactly.
hoping that on the other side, when ends up being the finished thing, you know, some of your heart will still resonate and it will still show.
Felt, yes. Wow. Thank you so much for that brilliant answer, John. What an
Appreciate it.
inspiration, actually. And Miss Vivian Hernandez from Kobe, Japan says, Hi,
Hi,
Mr. John. Greetings from Japan. Thank you so
hi.
much. Okay, John. This is, I've always asked this to all my celebrity guests, all the way, actually. In the middle of pandemic, of course, it's a worldwide catastrophe.
Yeah.
And we as a musician is deeply affected. I myself actually, because I used to go outside the country and do making
Yeah.
outside. I want you to define COVID as of the moment. Was it a curse, opportunity, or blessings?
Well, it was definitely not a blessing, uh, because of the loss of so many people and
Many, yes, many people, yes.
there's no fine way of putting this, the distraction of the economy, because at the moment we're feeling right here in the UK, we're feeling the effects of people being furloughed, which means they were paid to stay home because nobody could go out. So all that money now has to be paid back somehow. So yeah, definitely a blessing. It was not, um, but I think one has to make the most out of any circumstances, and people adapt. You know, and as we had to do as musicians, we had to adapt in the situation. Strangely enough, I found myself very busy because what I do, I have my own space in which I'm working, and I think
Yes.
a lot of production companies realize that, okay, we can't film, we can't do
Mm-hmm.
this, we can't do that. What can we
Yes.
do? How are we going to finish a film? And
Yes.
a lot of companies said, hang on, we got film A, B, and C, which is in the can, as they say, because it's been filmed. So now let's get the post production team. And I was one of the post production people. And I ended
Wow.
up
Yes.
working quite a bit. But,
Mm-hmm.
other people didn't. So it's just one of those very difficult, things to define. Um,
Yes.
yeah. Do I wish COVID didn't happen? Absolutely. I really do.
Yes.
Because it
Yes.
disrupted a lot of lives,
Mm-hmm.
But it seems we've come out of it now. I don't know how things are where you are, but over here things are pretty much back to normal. We had the
Yes.
Queen.
Yeah. Similar to back to normal here in the Philippines as well.
That's really good. That's really
Yeah.
good because we had the Queen's Jubilee the other day.
I know.
So
Well,
yes,
congratulations.
amazing. Something that you'll never see ever again in any
Yes.
lifetimes. It's just unbelievable thing to behold.
Definitely.
But the people it was just packed. No mask on
Mm-hmm.
site, and it was one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it would never existed.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good we're out of it now, and I hope that countries that are still into restrictions will quickly get out of this and get back to some form of normality. I
Hope
mean,
for
have
the
you?
best for that.
How was it for you, if you don't mind me asking? The
Sure.
COVID situation. How did you find the COVID situation? How did you find it?
First and foremost, of course, before COVID, of course, I did a lot of things. But when COVID strikes, so we detained out inside the house. There's a
Yeah,
lot of mandates to follow in the first place. But
yeah.
the thing is, since we are a third world country to begin with,
Uh,
we have had hardships, with
uh,
our economy. Well, it's a worldwide, but the thing is we are third world country, unlike
yeah.
US, unlike in the UK, Australia, and whatever.
Mm.
We're having a hard time actually dealing with.
That's really tough. That's
Yeah,
really bad to
but
hear. Mm.
good thing happens that the mandates is already loosened up, so we
Yeah,
are the workers, or the company has been already open,
yeah.
and the employer and the employee is about to go to work and begin to have a new normal life again.
That's really
And
good.
that's the reason why sooner or later I
Yeah,
will come to London and see you.
that's wonderful. Absolutely, please, by all means, absolutely. I'd love to
And
meet you
in
and go for
relation
a coffee. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, and relation with that, I mega shout out, of course, to he is my producer in London, actually. So Erasmo Rusty Malilin, and he said, hi Marvin and John. He is a songwriter based in London as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he is a multi awarded like you. He is
That's
also a
wonderful. That's really
composer.
nice to hear.
Yes,
That's really nice to hear.
lovely. And all right, I have also collected, uh, John, this Hostile Territory official trailer. Would you allow me again to play just a bit clips of it?
Absolutely, go for it. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much. In Tagalog words, salamat. Salamat means thank you. Here
No
we go.
problem.
Gentlemen, allow me to welcome you home.
My children, they think I'm dead.
Army contacted an orphanage, placing children with good homes, the orphan train movement.
You put my kids on a train, you send them to Missouri.
We just finished fighting the war right when that train's going.
I reckon you point me in the direction of that train.
Settlements have moved west rather quickly, and things have gotten messy. There's a couple of angry tribes out there, and I can't blame them.
I gotta find my children. You know, you don't have to go with me.
I ain't got nowhere else I gotta be.
You're a good man. I lost 2 years of my life in those Confederate camps. My baby's voices echoed through my head every day. That's what kept me from dying. I hope you made peace with God. I'm gonna make sure you pay the price.
So
That
yeah,
was brilliant. Wow.
that was
Wow.
the trailer from Hostile Territory that came out in theaters actually not
Yeah.
long ago. Yeah, and
Yeah,
again, as I said,
last April, isn't it?
yeah, April, I believe April the 22nd, and it's going to be on DVD and Blu-ray release, I think, this month coming out. So
Oh, thank you so much for that. Wow. Okay, just to break the ice, John, because once upon a time, I was an actor. I
once
was
upon
an
a time, why?
once,
Why once upon a time? You're still an
once
actor.
upon once upon a time, I was an actor. But yeah, kidding aside, we have an upcoming movie. It's a musical. It's a musical
Wonderful.
movie entitled Pera Cuarta Salapi. Money, money, money. It
Yeah.
is inspired from the Mamma Mia when I
Okay.
went to London and I watched
Wonderful.
Mamma Mia, and so Rusty Marilyn and I created this movie. And by August or September, we do have a premiere in London. I hope you will
Oh,
grace the occasion soon. I hope so.
absolutely, absolutely.
So I will cordially invited you. First thing first. All right. So that would be
Wonderful. Thank
okay.
you so much. I look forward to it. That's really
Well, thank
wonderful.
you. Okay, let me play this one just to break the ice,
No
and
problem.
I will let you see what Philippine
Sure.
musical movie can offer as well. But
Wonderful.
your thoughts would be much appreciated.
Absolutely.
This is produced by Erasmo Rusty Malilin, Pera Cuarta Salapi. Here we go.
Wonderful. Thank you. Looks
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Looks wonderful.
Thank you for watching, John.
Well done. Well done. That looks
Oh, thank
wonderful.
you.
Where was it filmed?
Here in the Philippines, the showing would be on August,
Okay.
and in London, UK, hopefully September or October. It depends on the requirements. I don't know. Of course, there's a lot of requirements to comply
Yeah, yeah, of
before
course. Of
Yeah,
course.
and it is directed by Carlo A. Alvarez and written by JP
Fantastic.
Lopez. And you see
Really
me
good.
singing, and well, the characters
Yeah.
and the actors and actresses there is all singers, and I myself is very actually I'm newbie in acting, but the good thing is I undergo acting workshop, something like that. So
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, yeah. No, no, it's all wonderful, and I can't see why not. I look forward to watching actually. When you come here in the UK, please let me know. That'd be wonderful.
thank you so much. I will tell to my promoter to invite you gracefully and officially, of course. I hope that you can grace the occasion
Absolutely.
soon.
Absolutely. That'd be wonderful. That would be absolutely wonderful.
Okay, let's pull up your website, my friend. Allow me to pull up this one. All right, so here we go. Of course, technically, you have a very posh website. A very wow. I'm gobsmacked
I
actually,
appreciate it.
and lovely. And of course, here you go. There's your achievements, your awards, all right, and your music, and you got, I think, 14 and more here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
and your videos that we play a while ago,
Yeah.
and the Philharmonic, the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra, and the
Yeah.
Hostile Territory. According to my boss in London, Hostile Territory, the poster is all over the place. You know what I mean? It was being placed in the bus, in
Yeah.
the size, the malls, the establishments, and all that. According to my boss.
That's great to hear.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great to hear.
Yeah, and of course the Great Alaskan Race,
Yes.
and
Yes.
wow, so on and so. Wow, It's really amazing to have met you along the way, John,
I appreciate that.
and it's just caught my attention about the thoughts of the director of Nephilim, Danny Wilson, and he
Yeah.
said, "Quote: Working with John was an honor. He is an extremely talented composer with the ability to grasp exactly what is needed on the project, and also has the ability to execute specifically what is needed on time and within budget. I would welcome the chance to work with him again." Wow,
I appreciate that.
lovely.
Danny Wilson and I were talking to this day. We're speaking
Mhm.
to this day. He was an absolutely wonderful director to deal with. Thankfully, and I'm quite grateful for that. On the actual film, we ended up changing pretty much nothing from the music. I think I had one request for a
Mhm.
change, which is a very rare thing to happen when one writes music for film. So it was again a very blessed collaboration. I really enjoyed working with Danny, and I hope to
Mhm.
work with him again in the future.
Yeah, and the way he described you is really likable, and you know what? You are a very commendable musician. I hope to work with you soon if the budget is allowable.
You never know. You know, you never know. You never know. The thing, I think, I mean, as I said at the beginning of the interview, what you have to do is and it's just maybe a little bit of an advice to new composers, maybe young people coming into this industry.
Yes, sir.
You gotta be humble, understanding, nice, should I say? But I
Mhm.
think anybody should be nice from the word go,
Yes.
and just work hard. Just work hard. I think, and thankfully, some of these attributes have been appreciated by the people I've worked with over the years, and this is one of the reasons why Danny, and I'm really appreciative to him, said what he said about me.
Mhm.
It was just a case of working hard and listening and understanding. And that's another thing that I can also bring to the discussion is to perhaps understand what a director is, because for me a director is a whole new chapter. Every
Yes.
director is different. Every director
Yes.
has his or her own musical journeys to get where they are to the point where you meet them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are these people? What do they like? What do they hate? What, how are they, do they envision the film to be dressed musically, and what is the journey you're going to have with them? It's a whole new, it's not even a book. I mean, for me, a director is an encyclopedia. It's just a whole new thing altogether. And I take a huge kind of responsibility to read between the lines, because this is another attribute a composer has to have with directors, especially. Sometimes you got to read between the lines of what is said, to reach to what needs to be done. Many directors, I had to listen to them very carefully. And sometimes, I ask to communicate via emails, because an email is a great thing. You can go back and reread it, right? Because when somebody tells you something over the phone, you just send it to you and that's it. It's gone, it's past. Whereas an email, you can go back and read it again. And, if you have any questions, you can go back and say, look, what did you mean about that? Because really music is all about interpretation, right? How you interpret someone's vision through your musicality. And many people have told me in the industry that film scoring is the most difficult part.
Exactly.
Well, because film scoring cannot be articulated.
Yes.
A director can't tell me what he or she wants, When any other part of the medium, it's achievable. If somebody wants a monster to look that way and that way, they can say, I want it to look that way or that way. But what can you say about music? There's nothing to say, right? Maybe perhaps a temp track might help, which is a track basically laid on the film sometimes, and it gives you an idea of what they're looking for, But beyond that, it's to the gods. It's a very, cerebral process, and there is no recipe for it. Every time that you work with someone, there's a different process happening, and you got to do your best to stay on site and on track, and deliver the music as best as possible.
Exactly. Wow. Thank you, John. I need to ask you this. How did you foresee yourself 5 to 10 years from now, specifically here in the music industry?
Yeah, well, my goal is to carry on working and to, first of all, to have a fruitful collaboration with the people I'm working now, and create more, acquaintances and friends along the way, and to be given the opportunity to be as creative as possible. That's where I see myself in 10 years. I think that's the most important thing, to get nice people and good projects to work with, I suppose one can visualize, different outcomes, but these don't really matter. I think the journey is what matters, right?
Yes, the journey is what matters.
Yeah. And it's a day-to-day thing for me to get there, whatever the there is, but the goal is to keep making music, that's the goal.
So what's your latest project? Would be also a movie, isn't it? Your latest
Yes,
project?
well, I've just finished Accident Man 2 not long ago. I'm in the talks now for a couple of more films, which a bit early to talk about them, but something is in the horizon. I've just finished working with an orchestra here in the UK called the People's Orchestra, and we recorded a piece of music called We Are One, and it has to do with the Commonwealth celebration in 2022, which was wonderful to record. We had 100 people piece choir. Really, really wonderful project to be involved with. And I'm doing some arrangements for a few friends for their bands, and some outside the film industry. But regarding the film industry, I finished also the music for a short film called Beyond the Lake by a young new director, Simon Constantine, who is absolutely incredible. So that was a real blessing. And look forward to a few films that I have on the pipeline for now. And always, as I said, always looking for new opportunities and exciting people to work with.
Wow, brilliant. Thank you so much. And Okay. Mom Vivian Hernandez says, so true, John. She was nodding at you. She is agreeing
Appreciate
with
it.
you. And she added, that's true. Wow. All right. What are your valuable message to all the musician of the world, entire the world? I'm referring to the whole world because, of course, we might be seen from other across the continents. What would be your valuable message to them?
And my message, I think for musicians in general, my message is I respect everyone, each and everyone that picks up an instrument and making music, because music is hard. Music is a difficult discipline, and whomever gets an opportunity to actually do something, I tip my hat. I think for young composers, my message would be humble, be
Mhm.
hardworking, be nice,
Mhm.
create, and try and love what you do and learn your craft, because especially film music is a difficult craft. Learn your craft,
Mhm.
work hard, and with a little bit of luck, good things can happen. But always, stay humble and work hard.
Wow. Thank you so much,
Appreciate
Sir
it.
Jason Kutselinis. I hope now
That's
I
good.
got it
You got
right. And of course, Sir Rusty Melilin says, great movie theme song, Hostile Territory. Congrats, John. Thank you so much, Sir
Appreciate it.
Rusty. And of course, Ma'am Vivian Hernandez says, we are one. That's the name of my charity foundation of artists here in Japan.
That's
Wow, thank you so
incredible.
much.
That's
Really,
incredible.
really amazing. And Lan Vicapulong says, music gives color and life to the movie. That's where the movie goers
Mm.
feel sad, happy, excited, and etc. Wow, you said
Absolutely.
it right.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Wow. And of course, Arturo Limbo, he is from Norwich, Kings Lynn, UK. I went there
Wonderful.
to I went there to his place. It was a very, very nice place. Lovely theme song from the movie Hostile Territory.
Appreciate
And
it.
Freddie Snedokor from Kobe Japan says, our respect to you, Miss Lady V Vivian Hernandez. Thank you so much. And of course, we do have Len Bicapulong added, humbleness is next to godliness. Wow, thank you so much. Exactly. All right, Sir John. First and foremost, I would like to thank you for allowing us to have you. It's an honor for me to have you
No,
here in
thank you
my
for having
show.
me. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Likewise, and I hope this isn't the last that you will be graced my show. And
Absolutely.
we've got a lot of things to tackle and coffee when I go to London, and I hope to catch you there. And
Look forward to it. Look forward to it.
really amazing guy, really brilliant musician, yet so grounded. Long live my friend,
Well,
Maestro.
I think
Thank you
I
so
think you
much.
have to be. I think you have to be, because it's a tough industry. It's a tough world, and you got to do your best. And hope to
All
get
right.
somewhere. That's what this is all about.
Thank you so much for disclosing some of your art, craft and talent and music here in my
Appreciate it.
show. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Marvin. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Keep me posted.
Yeah, we'll talk very soon. Thank you, my friend.
Bye bye, sir.
Bye bye.
Wow, that was our celebrity guest all the way from London, UK. Wow, John Koutselinis. Wow, how was that, guys? How was that? Piruin mo yan. Oh, see that? That is, guys, please visit Sir John website. Okay, John Koutselinis. Okay, here we go. Again, I will be reading some of his valuable um, introduction. John Koutselinis is award-winning film music composer. John Koutselinis has composed high-quality film score with notable collaborations comprising of music written for producers and directors such as Gary Kurtz, Star Wars 4 and 5, Brian Presley, The Great Alaskan Race, Hostile Territory, Richard Bazley, Disney Warner Brothers, Steve Stone, ITT, Danny Wilson, Nephilim, and Mel Smith, director of High Heels and Low Lives, Radioland Murders, a story by George Lucas. That was our very own celebrity guest, all the way from London, JOHN KOUTSELINIS. Thank you so much for gracing my show. And Sir Danny Streamer says, excellent show, Marvin. Many thanks. You're welcome, sir. Of course, I'll be playing some of the the Great Alaskan Race official soundtrack. Here we go.
Hey, let's go, boy. His third straight victory in the All-Alaskan Sweepstakes. No one is faster than Leonard Seppala.
I'm pregnant.
You're the sky my spirit flies in.
It's gonna be a long winter. I'll do my best to find your work. Keep the faith.
She doesn't have long. Take care of her.
What was my mommy like?
We have a problem. When the flu epidemic of 18 broke out, they died by the hundreds. This town is going to be savaged.
But don't we have the antitoxin?
I ordered more, but it didn't arrive with the last shipment. We need help. There's a blizzard dropping in from the north.
We're gonna get that medicine here.
We'll mush it in.
Daddy, what's gonna happen to us?
That's nearly 700 miles.
A relay. We station men at every roadhouse along the way.
I'll have to go ready.
The dogs will never make it.
We have to try. Every day we wait, children are going to die.
Your daddy and Togo, we're gonna come back.
We have lost contact.
Come on!
Any news from No?
Pack the crate.
Sepp, I say pack the crate!
I'm not gonna let anything happen to you.
And from the Pera Cuarto Salapi, My Love Diary, performed by yours truly, Rico Garcia and Miss Cynthia Garcia. Here we go.
I have a little book, a lovely treasure book, and I call it My Love Diaries. It's a compilation of inspirational stories of love in this great big wide world.
Love stories to be shared, of lovers everywhere, of passion, of attraction, and of tenderness, and wisdom to be learned over my love diaries. Is just to love and to be loved in return. My love diaries, my love unforgettable and so adorable in life.
Oh, love stories to be shared.
For lovers everywhere, of passion, of attraction, and of tenderness, and wisdom to be learned over my love diaries. It's just to love and to love in return. My love diaries, my love diaries, a collection of love stories here in my heart. My love diaries, my love diaries, memorable and so adorable in life. Love stories to be shared for lovers everywhere, of passion, of attraction, and of tenderness, and wisdom to be learned over my love diaries. It's just to love and to be loved in return, and wisdom to be learned over my love diaries. It's just to love and to be loved in return, and wisdom to be learned over my love diaries. It's just to love and to be loved in return. It's just to love and to be loved in return. It's just to love and to be loved in return. My love diary.
Dahil Friday ngayon, it's Chillax Day. And we
It's really Chillax Day for Monday. And from the jazz diva of Japan. Here we go. Miss Lady V, salamat sa musika. Be very nice.
Mga kaibigan, kahit tamis ng ating musika, mag-awitan, magsayawan, eto na ang ating musika. Sa musikero, importante ang tono at ritmo, sa bawat himig at tempo, siguradong okay sa mundo. Salamat sa musika, sinisigaw ng damdamin ko. Dahil sa aliw mo, ang buhay ay puno ng pag-asa. Salamat sa musika, buong sanlibutan ay sumigla. Iginuhit ng panahon sa bawat isa at sa ating dalawa. Salamat sa musika, buhay ay sumaya. Boses mistulang tala sa ganda. Ang Pilipino kay galing-galing sa musika. sumisigaw ng damdamin ko. Dahil sa aliw mo, ang buhay ay puno ng pag-asa. Salamat sa musika, buong sanlibutan ay sumigla. Iginuhit ng panahon sa bawat isa at sa ating dalawa. Salamat sa musika, buhay ay sumaya. Salamat sa musika, salamat sa musika, salamat sa musika, buhay ay sumaya. Meduba-duba, bip-bop, bip, meduha, meduba-duba, salamat, salamat sa musika.
That was Salamat sa Musika, composed by Erasmo Rastimalinis, sung by Lady V or Viva Hernandez, and music video created by Freddy Snedacor. And just to update you guys that we have under Erasmo Star Talent in Entertainment Management, newest featured artist will be Mr. Freddy Snedacor, a multi-awarded artist based in Kobe, Japan. Has newest single under Erasmus Star entitled Philippines Mahal Kita, composed by, of course, Erasmo Rastimalinis, arranged by Mark Santos. And I'll be giving you Freddy's song, No Wrestling, No VR.
Every time I think of you and all the freaky things you do, that's why you're always on my mind. I think of you all the time, and no one else will ever do, because I'm so in love with you. You know mere words can't describe the love I feel for you. You know mere words can't explain this love I feel. It's true. Why don't you take my hand and I make love to you, and we will come into the morning like a I ain't got no work, gonna stay here all day, make love in the morning, and you'll take a break. And I ain't watching no wrestling, and I don't need a beer. No baby, I don't need nothing, as long as you're here with me. Girl, you make me high, gotta pick you up in my ride. Rolling on dubs is what we do, anything you wanna do is cool. We can hold hands and walk the mall, or we can get to movie later on. You see, anything you wanna do is cool, because I'm so in love with you. You know mere words can't describe the love I feel for you. You know mere words can't explain this love I feel. It's true. Why don't you take my hand and make love to you, and we're coming to the morning like curves creeping through. I ain't got no work, gonna stay here all day, make love in the morning, and you'll take a break. And I ain't watching no wrestling, and I don't need a beer. No baby, I don't need nothing, as long as you're here with me. Ain't no superplexing, girl, you're what I'm pressing. It's me and you between the sheets tonight. No power driving together, no matter climbing. I'm coming up the top rope and doing a front splash on you.
Yeah, baby. You know, if I was in Jamaica, it'd probably sound a little bit something like this. Hey, man, give me something from a dumb baby. From a dumb baby. Give me some from a dumb baby.
Ain't got no work, wanna stay here all day, make love in the morning, and you'll take a break. And I ain't watching no wrestling, and I don't need a beer. No baby, I don't need nothing, as long as you're here.
All right, guys. First and foremost, thank you, John Koutselinnis from London, who graced our show for tonight. Thank you for sharing his success and valuable insights in the music industry. So let's support him, and we, yes, indeed, we inspired. Again, thank you to all the people around the world who watch my show for tonight. And this goes saying, in every stone being thrown to you, don't get hurt. Don't fight them back. Instead, collect those stones and build an empire. This is Marvin Velasquez, your boss of the World Prince of the Philippines, signing off. See you soon and have a great day ahead of you. God bless us.
You're my friend, my one true friend. When I'm sad and feeling bad, you are always there to make me glad and show your helping hand.
I am so lucky to have you, and I thank you for being you. It's good to know you're there. You are always there for me.
My forever friend you'll be. You are me and I am you. You are always there when I call your name to share my life's joys and miseries.
You're my friend, my one true friend. When I'm sad and feeling bad, you were always there to make me glad and show your helping hand.
I am so lucky to have you, and I thank you for being you.
It's good to know you're there. You were always there for me.
My forever friend you'll be. You are me and I am you. You are always there when I call your name to share my life's joys and miseries.
Today I want to thank you for all the things you do. I want the world to know you're my friend, my one true friend.
With all the years together and all the memories, I hold them dear in my heart and never will depart.
It's good to know you're there. You are always there for me.
My forever friend you'll be. You are me and I am you. You are always there when I call your name to share my life's joys and miseries. Today I want to thank you for all the things you do. I want the world to know you're my friend, my one true friend. With all the years together and all